The date is December 18th, 2014. The hot stoves are burning all across the Major League Baseball landscape. For A.J. Preller and the Padres, the work they were to do was just beginning. The Padres had been mired in mediocrity for what seemed to be an eternity. The offense was, pun intended, quite offensive. This team was destined for the 75-80 win plateau for the future. The pinnacle of the World Series was something that would be in the rearview mirror when they were crushed by the Yankee machine in 1998. The Padres needed to make moves now. This will begin an era of Padre dominance. Prellerpalooza was about to begin. The transaction storm made by the Padres captivated sports writers across America. Look at all of the names that they had picked up. Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, Will Myers, Derek Norris, Will Middlebrooks, Big Game James. Even then, it wasn't enough. Preller needed one more piece to load up for the bullpen. Just before the season started, they picked up an elite closer in Craig Kimbrell from the Braves. It only cost them some extra outfielders and to swallow up the entire contract of B.J. Upton. Prellerpalooza was an astounding success at the time. The city of San Diego actually won something. They were crowned the champions of the offseason. This wasn't going to be like the 2012 Marlins or the Blue Jays of 2013. This team was going to go the distance. There may be massive holes in the plan. The middle infield is still a mess. The pitching was due for regression. The defensive outfield structure was terrible. Matt Kemp was a center fielder in name only. Will Middlebrooks had about one good month in Boston. But the Padres were destined for greatness. That greatness was the same damn mediocrity that they had been mired in since the turn of the decade. Now they have the added bonus of having untold millions of dollars locked up in underperforming players. Not even a year after the binge, they were committing baseball bulimia by purging everything out. Justin Upton became a free agent at the end of the year. Matt Kemp was traded to Atlanta for a guy that was immediately bought out of his contract. Big Game James was shipped off to the White Sox in a salary dump. Craig Kimbrell to the Red Sox. The now-named Melvin Upton didn't play like shit and was able to be sent to the Blue Jays. Even guys that were originally part of the team, like Andrew Kashner, Yonder Alonso, and Tyson Ross, were shed after injuries or underperformance. Nowadays, the aura of off-season champion has eroded, and they appear to be something out of the lab of Yosef Mengele. The Padres are the real-life equivalent of a Jackson Pollock painting. Preller is just throwing shit onto a field and hoping that something, hell, anything, sticks onto the warning track. It's customary for a bad team to stockpile a Rule 5 pick on the team for a year to retain their rights. The Padres have 3 of them, and they are all in key positions on the team. Miguel Diaz has started several games for the team. He hadn't pitched a game above April. Luis Torrens is the backup catcher. He struggled in Class A as well last season. Alan Cordoba is their starting left fielder right now. He had all of 400 at-bats in North America to his name before this season. In rookie ball, the Padres have given so few fucks that they are trying out Christian Bethancourt as a pitcher-catcher hybrid. You did not mishear that sentence. Defensively, they are still a train wreck. Hunter Renfroe is one of their better hitters this season, but the man is an absolute butcher in the field. That Luis Torrens guy, his pitch framing and plate protection is such that you'd be better off having a piece of plywood back there. Once again, not important when you are embracing the tank. What also apparently isn't important? Plate patience. What does that term mean anymore? What is selective hitting? What is a walk? Something against those unwritten rules? One of the few people left from Prellerpalooza is Will Myers, who is okay, but will probably be traded for a couple more people who will be sent over the trenches into the no-man's land that is Petco Park. As for pitching, even more of a walking disaster. Once again falling privy to the throw darts on the billboard philosophy, they have sent out nearly everything and everyone, hoping that they can get at least an inning or 2 from them. Rule 5 picks, minor leaguers, journeymen, and position players are not exempt from this conscription. But what the Padres do have? Jared Weaver! Because the one thing that strikes fear into opposing hitters is a guy that is overcooked to the point of being a hockey puck. Yes, there are players that throw an 85-mile-per-hour fastball in the majors. They're called knuckleballers. This is only going to get worse come August and September, when every player with a shred of value is sold at the deadline and this team immolates like a vampire in the sun. Don't worry though, Padres fans. Your team may be an imitation of the Scream this season, but there is always one bed you can sleep on. You were the champions of the offseason in 2015. The Padres can do what the Washington Capitals do every year and put up a banner in celebration. It can be in between the 14-2 banner and the voodoo doll of Dean Spanos. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you look for nothing but quick fixes instead of a slow build for the future in mind. The Padres are a cautionary tale that hasn't been and never will be learned by sports executives. Big splashes usually drain the pool of all the water. As a result, they are relegated to liking tanks. At least there's only 2 more months before San Diegans get to watch the Chargers squirm as the bitch of Los Angeles.
And it's 4-3 Sox. Diversifying as Melky was off and the bunt is popped up. 2 down.